All right. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to move my screen over here so I can see. Welcome to everybody popping in here. So welcome to my home office. You guys, I'm so official. We are literally just going to hang out and chat today. I'm excited for everybody that's popping in here. This will be recorded, so if for any reason you need to pop out early or you want to replay it and listen again, you have that opportunity and ability. So the chat is live, and I will keep that kind of going off to the right-hand side, probably more towards the end. I'll just kind of scroll through and see if there's any specific questions, but we're going to let everybody kind of pop in at their leisure. I know the 11 o'clock doesn't work for everybody, so that's the purpose of these being recorded. And I'm just so excited. So last weekend, coming off of my show, second bodybuilding competition, and by no means am I here today to invite you or encourage you to do bodybuilding unless that's something that you're into and maybe you're curious about it. So always happy to answer questions and talk about it. But I'm going to give about one more minute for a few more people to pop in, and then I'm just literally going to just share kind of my journey in fitness, why I do what I do, why I'm so passionate about what I do, and really why I want to help. So get a few more things going here. I did jot down some notes, so I'm going to have those here ready to kind of keep me in order. But I do want to value your time. I really want to just keep this to like 30-40 minutes max. And I'm going to start doing these more on a regular basis. That way that if you have questions, we can get those answered. I do get a lot of questions behind the scenes and try and talk to people and message. So one thing I want you to know that, you know, when people are living their passion, you're never bothering them. And like shooting people a text message, shooting a direct message behind the scenes, don't ever feel like you're bothering people, because they're going to get to you when they can. And typically people love talking about their passion, what they enjoy. So I would always encourage you, if you have a question, ask, because that's how you're going to get your answers. So let's just go ahead and get started. My name is Chelsea, and I've been in the fitness industry for about 14 years now, and I absolutely love fitness. I was a cheerleader growing up. I was a competitive water skier, and so I've always been pretty active. And I took my first group fitness class in college and loved it. Thought it was pretty fun. Took a step class, and it was very stimulating to my ADD tendencies. And so later on, I was pregnant with my second, I decided to get certified as a fitness instructor and just started subbing classes here and there. And this was after we had moved to Utah, originally from Idaho. And so I started subbing classes at a local rec center and teaching in a church gym, just kind of using friends as guinea pigs and getting feedback on ways that I can improve. And it's kind of fun to think that some of those first friends that I did classes in a church gym are now actually attending my classes at Vasa. So I'm currently teaching group fitness. I only do Monday mornings at 9 a.m. at the Riverton Vasa for anybody that's local, if you ever want to come to my class. And then I also teach at Lifetime in South Jordan at 9 a.m. and it's a GTX class. So it's like a small group training combination of like treadmill and weight floor, similar to Orange Theory. I am a former Orange Theory coach, and I was there for a couple years. Absolutely loved coaching at Orange Theory. Loved it so much that I have actually bought into a franchise. So I am opening my own gym the end of this year, and very excited. We just closed on our property. We will be building from the ground up. So hopefully to start digging in May. So if that says anything about me, you guys, I'm building a gym before I'm building my own home. So I am so excited. and thrilled for the opportunity to bring a new franchise to Utah. It's called Spenga. And we will be doing 20 minutes of spin, 20 minutes of strength, and 20 minutes of yoga. So you'll get your cardio, strength, and flexibility all in an hour. And it's going to be an awesome addition to some of the great local gyms that we already offer. I love studios and the concept of boutique fitness. And it's an opportunity to just create community and get to know people on kind of a deeper level. And so I'm excited to bring that here to Utah. And again, that will be kind of like the fall, winter of this year, if all goes well. So it's been 2 years in the making, kind of a long process, but trusting the timing and super excited about it. So I want to share just a couple of things that I've done in the past with my fitness. So like I said, I've always been active. So maybe people look at me and think, oh, she's got it all together because she's always been going to the gym. Well, sure, I've moved my body, but not until in the last couple of years did I start to really actually transform my body and see the results that I was looking for. And if you are moving your body on a regular basis, I congratulate you, because just getting in that routine is so important. And so whatever it is, whether it's a Zumba class, whether it's going for walks, whether it's dancing around the house, whatever it might be, I applaud you for just making that effort and find what works for you. That's my biggest number one suggestion to anyone that's looking to start is find something that motivates and inspires and that you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, then you're going to continue to show up for it. And so as the weather's changing, maybe it is just taking a walk and it's going down to the corner and back. If you can go a little further, then that's amazing. You know, you have to find what works for you. And I cannot encourage more than anything, having a workout buddy, whether it's a dog that you're out taking a walk or it's a girlfriend that you can meet up with and go for a walk. I remember going on morning runs with a friend when I moved into a new neighborhood, and that was so good for me. So I would encourage you to find someone, a buddy that can keep you accountable, that you can just shoot a text to or that you can meet up with, and start where you are. Just know that where you are today is exactly where you need to be. And one of the things that I really encourage each of my clients to do is focus on what they're doing well, recognizing how they're showing up and what is working. And I think a lot of us have tried different things. And the best thing about trying is you're never failing because you tried and you learned something from what you tried. So in the past, some of the things that I have tried, I've done keto, and I'm not super prepared with photos. Maybe I'll pop those up on my social media in the future. But my husband and I did a keto plan for 6 weeks. We were very successful on it. It was great. We saw results, we got lean, but the problem was it wasn't sustainable. We couldn't eat that, that high fat, high protein all the time because everywhere we go, there were carbs. And so you've felt it. You've probably felt the shame that maybe family or friends will give you or make you feel when you show up to the barbecue and you're not interested in the menu, or maybe you're picking and choosing, or maybe you show up with your own food to pop in the microwave. But why are you feeling guilty for making a choice to change? If you know what works for you, honor that and continue with that. Don't allow what others think of you or what they suggest you do change what you know is right and true to you. So if keto works for you, I applaud you. Keep going with it. Maybe you've tried keto and you've come off of it and you weren't able to maintain the results. And so part of that is because you got off the plan, right? You stopped the consistency. So often we will have that goal date in mind. We're headed on vacation in 6 weeks. So we're going to do 6 weeks and we're going to be so disciplined. Well, that 6 weeks was a success. You proved to yourself that you can make change, that you can create and do something on a consistent basis. And so coming out of it, maybe coming off the vacation, then the weight starts to pack on. Well, step back and reevaluate what worked and what went well for you during that time, during those 6 weeks that you were showing up a little differently. Why did it work? And is it because of that goal date? Is it because you wanted to fit in the dress, or you wanted, to fit in that swimsuit? What was it? What up here motivated you to get there? And so I think that's one of the things that we need to recognize too, is how we're showing up in order to get the results we want. So beyond the keto, it wasn't sustainable. And so I tried to learn what worked from that and applied it moving forward. Well, the high protein was awesome for us. We loved it. We loved these new meals that we had experienced, and we really enjoyed keto for the fact that we felt full. And part of the reason we felt so full was because of the high protein and the high fat content. So as you are learning what macros are, and we're going to talk about those today, there are more calories in fat. So a true keto diet is a high fat diet. And when you are consuming high fat, you are getting a lot of calories. And so you're feeling very satiated. And the problem with typically the keto is there's such high fat content in it. They're actually finding that, people's cholesterol is starting to rise, so a long-term keto probably isn't the best suggestion or the best fix. It might start to develop and create some, different habits for you, and you're going to feel different. Being in ketosis, essentially, like cutting out some of the white flours and the sugars, is you kind of get rid of that brain fog. You get rid of some of that inflammation that your body was experiencing. And so people talk about being in ketosis and how wonderful. And that is a true feeling. Like I can honestly say, doing my show prep, I feel amazing because I'm not doing the white flours and the sugar, and I'm cleaning up my diet. And so, of course, my body is feeling and being fueled so well. So walking away from keto, I learned that we really liked the protein. We didn't embrace the high fats. We weren't, continuing to cook everything in butter and all those things. But moving forward, we really liked the protein out of it. So we maintained that, and it helped to keep us full. From there, I maintained the low carb because I realized that my body would just suck up carbs. And I grew up, my favorite meal growing up, and probably one of the first things I learned to make myself, was bread and butter. My grandma made the best homemade bread, and bagels and cream cheese. You guys, that was like winning. I was so excited about bagels and cream cheese. I'd pop a bagel in the microwave for 30 seconds, lather on the cream cheese. And that was like literally what I ate every day after school before I went and watched Saved by the Bell. So some of you can probably relate. And I was a carb lover. I loved the rolls with the soups, and I've always been a carb lover. But what I realized when I was doing the keto is I actually felt better on less carbs. So I tried to adapt that, and I do a lot more of, fruits and vegetables moving forward. So one thing with the protein and why protein is so important is not only are you going to feel fuller, but it's going to help you to maintain muscle. And the biggest thing that I hear women say is that I want to get lean. Well, really what you're saying when you are saying that you want to get lean is that you want to build muscle. And as you build muscle, you are actually going to burn more calories. So we'll say burn more fat, and you're going to start to shed those layers that are covering the muscle up. And so it's so important to make sure that you have a high enough protein content in your diet, because it's not something that's going to be stored in your body. So these carbs and fats that we eat, they're going to be stored for later use, but protein, we have to continue to consume it over and over and over, because it's not a storable source. And it's going to help us to maintain muscle. So as soon as you turn 30 years old, your muscle content starts to go down. And so if you're not continuing to strength train and feed your body with protein, then you're going to start to lose that muscle. And then we go into osteoporosis and all of those things as we get later in life. And around 40 years old, the muscle's starting to go down at 30. About 40 years old, that's when women really start to struggle. That's when we start to see the hormones start to fluctuate. Maybe it's premenopausal, and that's a whole different conversation. So one of the things that are so important is protein. That's where I start every single one of my clients, is focusing on learning how to incorporate protein into every meal, into every snack. And I understand that there's some people that are vegan, and of course that's a different conversation too, but you can still increase your protein levels no matter what your eating style is. So we've talked a little bit about keto, the higher fat, high protein, and then I maintained low carb just because I felt better by not having those white flours with sugars in my diet. And I'm not completely gluten-free, but I do believe that there are a lot of issues and a lot of inflammation that is caused from gluten products. And so because we have limited time today, and I don't want to go into all the details, I do suggest, you trying to pull some of those from your diet, looking for more gluten-free options, and just pay attention. I think one of the most important things with nutrition is to really pay attention to how you feel, and start to maybe eliminate certain things in your diet. Some people actually absorb vegetables raw better than cooked or steamed. So have you ever paid attention to how your body feels when you eat raw broccoli versus steamed broccoli? How are you, what is your daily routine like? Are you going to the bathroom on a regular basis? A healthy, regular bowel is actually going poop 2 to 3 times a day. And there's a lot of people that maybe are only going every 3 or 4 days. So if you are increasing the protein into your diet, you want to make sure that you've got enough fiber. And so as you're reading labels and you're looking at things, you want to try to increase that fiber content. My kids love bread, and I don't pull bread out of the kitchen, but I try to find a bread that has a higher fiber content, because that's going to help to keep the process moving. We want to stay regular. And coming off of actually right when COVID started, I had one of my nutrition clients that had a brother that had cancer, and the topic of a water diet had come up, and just the study and the research about how it can reset healthy hormone balances and things was proven. And I had joined a Facebook group to learn about water diets and different things. And it's not a complete water only diet. You're actually supplementing with electrolytes. But I did do a 10-day water fast, essentially. So I drank just water for 10 days. And I did supplement with the electrolytes. And yes, I did lose muscle. Yes, I did lose weight. But it was an opportunity for me to just to reset my system. And one of the things that I learned from doing that water diet for 10 days is just how amazing the human body is, you guys. The human body is so resourceful, and it's capable of so much more than we give it credit for. And literally, when I got hungry, I would just drink and I was satisfied. So a lot of times it's just kind of mind over matter. Are you bored or are you hungry? What are those things that are showing up for you in life? One thing that I have learned through my coaching and the continued certifications that I do is a lot of times we will reach for food as a comfort because maybe we're lacking something in a different area of our life. Maybe you don't have enough adventure happening. Maybe you are lacking from a relationship. And so are you fueling and reaching in the pantry to fulfill a need that could actually be fulfilled through better conversation, or getting out of the house or moving your body. And so these are some of the things that I love to talk to my nutrition clients about and help them understand and connect the dots, because it's so important to realize, what are your habits? Why are you showing up and reaching, late at night? So what are your routines? How are you, fueling yourself at the end of the day? Are you getting enough protein at the end of the day, so you're not reaching for the carbs and the snacks at 9:30, 10 o'clock? Another diet that we hear a lot about is intermittent fasting, and it serves so many. Literally, weight loss, you guys, it's a numbers game. If the scale's not moving down in the direction that you want it to, it simply means that you're consuming more calories than you're moving your body. So in order to lose weight, all you need to do is shrink your portion sizes, or you need to start to move your body more. So what would work for you? Are you in a place where you can commit to moving your body a little more each day? If not, then I would encourage you to just start shrinking your portion sizes, increasing your protein to every snack and every meal, and watch change happen. It really is that simple. We oftentimes make nutrition so complicated, and it's because there's so many different ideas and different things floating around on the internet, and we watch the reels. We have seen this, we've seen that. Oh, it worked for her, I'm going to try it. And so you have to just start where you are. And I literally have everybody start with the protein game. So if you are someone that is looking to lose weight, we'll go back to intermittent fasting. This might be a great place for you to start. But again, I want you to listen to your body. So intermittent fasting essentially is you choosing an 8-hour window to consume your food. So depending on your schedule and your routine, if you have to eat first thing when you wake up, because maybe you have some medication you have to take or something like that, that's okay. You can start eating at 7 or 8 o'clock, but just know 8 hours from there is when you're going to start to cut things off. And I saw a lot of good success with intermittent fasting because personally, my journey, my husband had some medical issues several years ago, and I was in a high stress state. I was working about 80 hours a week, coaching as much as I could during the day, throughout the week and in the evenings. And then on the weekends, I was working graveyard shifts for JetBlue. And I found myself going into the pantry and just gobbling up food on the weekends. And unfortunately, I got to a place where I would eat and eat and eat until I was throwing up. And nobody knew it because I would just continue to try to outwork all those calories that I had consumed. Obviously, I'm throwing up and I was not taking care of myself. And so I had to make some changes. Intermittent fasting was a change that I made that really worked for me because I actually loved that feeling of being full. It was very satisfying to me, but my portions were out of control. So as I started to intermittent fast, I started to push my breakfast back, from 8 to 9 to 10, where I got very comfortable at not starting my meals until 10:30, 11 a.m. each day. And then I would just cut myself off about 7 p.m. at night. One of the best tricks to cut yourself off after you eat dinner, go in and brush your teeth. I don't know about you, but I am too lazy to brush my teeth 2 times. So I'll just go in and brush them, and then I'm just done. And I'll drink water if I need to. But everybody is at a different place. So if you feel like portion control is maybe one of your things that you need to reel in, maybe consider intermittent fasting. And you start that by just slowly pushing that window back. If you normally eat at 8, let's try 8:30 for a few days. And then let's bump it to 9 o'clock. Everybody has different goals. And I truly believe that everybody can achieve their goals if they will just start. That's the biggest thing. You've got to just start, you guys. And it's going to be different for everyone. Talking about portion control, if you feel like maybe intermittent fasting isn't for you, but you feel like, yeah, I'm probably eating too much and I need to reel that in. I teach all of my clients off of a hand guide. And so I'll send out a custom macro guide. And in that, it teaches you portions. So if you're looking at the palm of your hand, this is your protein. So that's about the size of your chicken breast, a couple eggs, whatever your protein source is for the day in that meal is going to be about the palm of your hand. For guys, it ends up being about 2 palms per serving. So you're going to get about 20 to 30 grams of protein by going off your palm. For carbs, you're just going to cup your hand, just whatever you can fit, that rice, that sweet potato, potatoes, whatever your carb source is, maybe it is a roll, whatever you want for that carb meal, it should be able to fit in the palm of your hand. Your veggies is going to be your fist. So whether you've got your steamed broccoli, you've got some Brussels sprouts, you're fixing up a salad, whatever veggies you have with that meal, you're just going to do about a fist size on the plate. And then for your fats, you're just going to hold up your thumb. So top to bottom, it's about 2 tablespoons. So when you're drizzling that dressing on your salad, it's going to be about the size of your thumb. When you're laying the avocado out, when you're grabbing for the almonds or the nuts, those healthy fat sources, you're just going to go about the size of your thumb. The reason being, you've got 9 calories in 1 gram of fat versus 4 in your protein and your carbs. So we want to keep the fat content down in order to consume less calories. If your goal is to lose weight, right? You want to be able to just reel in those portions. So we've got protein, you've got carbs, you've got your veggies, and you've got your fats. So if you were to go out to lunch with the ladies or you're showing up for Sunday dinner, this is always with you, you guys. It's always there to help keep you in check with your portions if you're someone that needs help with portion control. For those of you that are looking to build some muscle, you've got to increase the protein. I'm going to tell you this, whether you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to gain muscle, you've got to increase protein. So I'm going to share some of my go-to protein sources for snacks and things like that. Every day for my breakfast, whether I'm on prep or not on prep, I literally have eaten this for the last year. I do an egg white omelet. And if I'm at a place where I can add some fats, then I'll add an egg or 2 to it. But I'll do egg whites. I do some shaved turkey. Now you can throw in any protein source you want. You can do some, turkey bacon. You can do the reasons I say turkey bacon is because it's a lower fat meat. So you can throw sausage, you can throw ham in. Just know that it's a higher fat content, which is giving you more calories. And so because of that, maybe you're pulling some calories out somewhere else during the day. And then I just load it up with veggies. I go peppers, I go mushrooms. I'll do a handful of spinach. Sometimes I'll throw in Brussels sprouts and I'll saute that up. And I usually do about 1/2 cup of egg whites in my omelets. And then I love like green chilies on top. I love salsa. I'm getting into the Trader Joe's recently because we've got one that showed up in Draper. And so I'll just, throw the toppings on there that I like or the seasonings. Seasonings are so important. And some of my favorite seasonings are the Feast Mode brand, Feast Mode. And because it has a lower sodium content. And so when I am prepping for shows, I typically am lower sodium, but they have really good flavorings. And so I would encourage and invite you to try different things. I even actually have started doing the doTERRA oils in my cooking, and it's been kind of fun to just mix things up. So typically an egg white omelet is what I'll do every morning. One thing that you can do if you're a cottage cheese lover is you can actually add cottage cheese to your eggs. It just makes them a little more fluffy and a little more creamy. So you'll want to get your eggs just about done and then add the cottage cheese because there is some liquid in there. When I reach for cottage cheese, I always do a low fat content, again, just to keep the calories reeled in just a little bit. Great snacks are like string cheese, plain Greek yogurt. My favorite go-to protein powders are the ISO whey protein. You can find it on Amazon. Clean Simple Eats protein powder, you can also find on Amazon, or just go to their website. I will have a discount code coming soon for Clean Simple Eats. And the reason I love Clean Simple Eats, I'm a protein snob, you guys. I don't like it chalky, and it better taste good. And so they have amazing flavors, kind of cater to whatever your taste buds are. So Clean Simple Eats is a really good one. And I'll do plain Greek yogurt with a scoop of the Clean Simple Eats protein and eat it like pudding. I'll dip apples in it or fruit, and it's really awesome. My kids actually ask for that all the time. As a dessert in the evenings, we'll do plain Greek yogurt, Clean Simple Eats protein, and then throw some granola in it, fresh fruit, and kind of eat it like a yogurt parfait. For lunches, I typically just keep it lean and green. I do a lot of salads. My favorite is, you probably have seen me post it maybe, is a cheeseburger salad. So I literally will, whatever toppings I would put on a cheeseburger, I will just throw into a salad. So I do ground turkey just to keep my fat content down. And then I'll just do ketchup, mustard. I'll throw in pickles, sometimes onions. Sometimes I'll do some peppers. I'll even do sweet potato fries and throw it in the salad, and just mix it up and eat it that way. So we've all had, maybe tried a lettuce wrapped burger, and it's great. You still are getting that, but again, you're reeling in the carbs just a little bit and bringing those calories down. So salads are typically my go-to for lunches, but I do love wraps also. So there's so much creativity out there and ways to get extra protein. They have egg white wraps. They have cheese wraps. They look like just like tortillas, but they're Parmesan cheese, just really thin. You can throw some lunch meat and some lettuce and tomato, roll those up, maybe put some mustard on it. I encourage you to flavor your food, because if it doesn't taste good, we're not going to eat it. So important to get creative, mixing things up with your meals. And I love just sharing, I love the challenge of anybody asking me, how can I get more protein here? My kids love crepes. And at Trader Joe's, I found egg white wraps. They literally looked just like crepes, but they were egg whites. And I chopped up some strawberries, put on there, and then I will mix the Clean Simple Eats protein powder with egg whites. Don't be afraid of egg whites, people. Pasteurized egg whites is just like water. You're not going to notice the difference, but the cool thing about it is you're just getting more protein. So the Clean Simple Eats protein with the egg whites, I just make it really thick, and so I can drizzle that over the strawberries, and then I wrap it up and eat it just like a crepe. And so there are easy ways to incorporate more protein into your diet. Typical dinners around here, and my kids eat very clean, just like I do. So they'll eat salmon, they'll eat Brussels sprouts and asparagus, but we try to keep things, pretty portioned out. So we have our protein. We have a protein source on our plate. And I'll ask my kids, they know what protein, fats, and carbs are. And I have some really easy cheat sheets that I can pass along to for carbs, fats, and proteins, if you're not familiar. But carbs are just generally your grains and your veggies. That's where you're getting your carbs. Your fats are going to be your peanut butter, your oils, and we can go into seed oils and things like that, but you typically want to stay away from your seed oils, soybean, things like that. Checking labels is really important. We're learning and understanding that they're toxins to our body, and our body's not able to digest them. And so that's why eating out can be so detrimental, because there's so many oils behind the scenes in those kitchens that are being infused into our foods. That's not only spiking the calories way, way up, but it's actually introducing chemicals into our bodies. And they're showing that it takes about 200 days for those chemicals to release, almost a whole year that those chemicals are just harboring in our bodies. And so, and then it's starting to mess with our gut. And I'm sure you've probably heard that your gut is your second brain. So if you're not feeling good in your guts, it's going to create that brain fog. You're going to start to break down the intestines. And we've all seen fishnet tights. Well, if your intestines look like those fishnet tights and there's chemicals running through there, it's now getting into your bloodstream. That's why you have fatigue. That's why you have brain fog, and you have some of these symptoms, because those chemicals are being released and running straight through the bloodstream. So it's so important to pay attention to how you're feeling. Food is literally fuel for your body. And so if you want to change, you might have to mix things up. but it can be very simple. If you love to eat spaghetti for dinner, have you ever considered looking for some protein pasta? Instead of doing, a higher fat meat content in your spaghetti sauce, look for that leaner meat. The biggest thing about making change is let's start where you are and incorporate just healthy changes with what you're already doing. Are you drinking enough water throughout the day? I would suggest whatever numbers on the scale, you want at least half that in ounces per day. If you're setting a protein goal for yourself, look at the scale. And whatever number you see on the scale, I want you to shoot for that in grams of protein per day. And maybe you're confused about grams. You don't even know what that is. Well, start reading labels. Start taking a look and seeing how many grams of protein are in the products that you're eating. And if you can start to lead with protein, it's the nice thing about protein is you feel fuller. It helps to maintain muscle. We know that muscle helps to burn more calories, essentially will bring the fat down in the body. And it's the hardest macro for your body to digest, which means it's causing your body to work. So you're essentially burning calories to digest. So you're going to feel fuller, you're going to have more energy. And I don't have time to go into the metabolic health behind protein, but it helps to prevent those high insulin spikes that we so often see. So blood sugars go up every time we're eating carbs because it's a quick energy source. And so if you will make sure to introduce protein at the same time as you're enjoying some of your treats and things like that, it's going to help to mitigate those sharp spikes that we see. And so those are things that we're going to be talking a little bit more about with time. But as I am talking about nutrition and fitness and things, I get so excited to help people. And I haven't posted a lot about my nutrition programs or anything like that. And so one of the things that I'm actually going to do today is I am going to share, I'm going to pop this in the chat really quick. This is a link to my website, to my programs. If you are interested, you can go to the website and take a look there. There are a couple questions before I transition over to Q&A. Let's see here. So it says that I have a hard time knowing what to eat for my protein. I tend to eat the same thing and get sick of it and can't eat it anymore. So there are, hopefully I gave you a few ideas for some protein sources today that could kind of mix things up. And I will start sharing more on social media, some of the snacks and things, and hopefully give you some ideas. But you literally can mix, pull the sour cream off out of the fridge, and let's replace it with plain Greek yogurt for your ranch dip. Instead of dipping your veggies in ranch, go ahead and blend up some cottage cheese or plain Greek yogurt, throw a ranch packet in it, and it's an easy protein source rather than, some of those higher fat contents. So I definitely will be sharing more, like turkey jerky and things like that just really will make a difference too with a lower fat content, and you're not getting the sugar. So avoiding the sugar and trying to increase protein are the number two things that I really suggest for a lot of people. What's a tracking system for workout programs to help take the guesswork and challenge of setting up workouts? So I do have a workout program in one of my offerings, but I would say, so like for me personally, I do on Mondays, it's back and biceps. Tuesday's leg day, more of a quad focus. Wednesday is chest, shoulders, and tris. Thursday is a rest day. Friday is a leg day with more of a glute ham focus. And then I actually repeat my chest, shoulder, and tri day on Saturdays. So I would recommend like opposing muscle groups and having a focus for like upper lower body days to give your body some rest days. And there are so many different programs out there, but I do offer a workout program for working out. That's something that we haven't talked about a ton. Just for matter of time, but I definitely will be addressing in the future. Cardio, stop doing cardio. So I literally did 20-minute cardio sessions for my entire prep, getting ready for my show. The reason for only 20 minutes of cardio is beyond 30 minutes, your body starts to tap into protein as the energy source. So we want to get the carbs out of the system. Let's target just the first 20 minutes, go hard in your cardio for 20, and then you're out. There's a lot of people that will do, an hour to 90 minutes. And what you're actually doing is you're wearing and breaking the body down, and you're starting to tap into that muscle source. So my trainer has me make sure to only keep my cardio sessions under 30 minutes. And I do push a little more intensity in that time, but I feel like I can because it's just short and sweet. So just like an incline walk on the treadmill or getting on a bike is great, or just a brisk walk. It doesn't have to be these high intense, pushes, but there are a lot of you that are probably in the group fitness room, and it's okay to pop in and just do half of a class. Don't feel like you have to stay till the very end. Instructors aren't going to be offended. So I would recommend keeping those cardio sessions short and sweet, very effective and efficient, but it is unnecessary for you to be doing constant cardio. On my rest days, I pull it out. I'll do on Sundays. I don't work out. I typically will just go for a walk and do some yoga. Thursdays, it's the same thing. So I'm lifting 5 days a week. I lift for 5. I have 2 rest days. And if I'm prepping for a show, I'll add 20 minutes of cardio a day. That's it, is all I'm doing for cardio. Great question. And thanks for the reminder. I am going to, let's see, should be host and panelist. Let me throw that website in there again. Did you guys get that link? I'll just answer more questions. So I answered the cardio question of what I do. And what if a spouse or significant other doesn't support someone on their health improvement journey? This is the perfect question, you guys. I have a husband that is not super excited about me hitting the stage, but what is something that you can do together? We have started walking together more, and it's awesome. But what about pickleball? What about basketball? What about rock climbing? What about golfing together and avoiding the cart? So what can you do to move your body together? And bike rides, different things like that. So I would try and meet them where they are if they're not super into going to the gym, things like that. But if they're not supportive of the fitness journey, I would encourage you to have a conversation with them, helping them understand why you are doing what you're doing. Why are you passionate about it? How does it make you feel? And why are you choosing to show up in that space? I think if you are authentic and you're genuine in that communication, that they're going to see that this is something that you need, and you continuing to show up for you will inspire them. And I can honestly say that by me continuing to be consistent with my journey and in my fitness, that my husband is now seeing how important it is to me. And so just having that conversation to be supportive of them, and meeting them where they are with their interests and showing interest, I think that it's going to be an example to them, and they will be supportive. But maybe potentially there's an opportunity for you to move your bodies together, and they'll see the value in that. So spending time together. Let's see. Did you guys get that link? I'm going to just respond here directly to a few of you and see if it came through. What snacks do you have on hand for kids besides fruits and veggies? So my kids do love cheese sticks. They're big quesadilla lovers. We recently actually found a protein mac and cheese. I'll have to post that. And so kids are going to be kids. So they actually drink protein shakes. And I do almond milk and a scoop of the protein, and they'll drink that. So I am asking them at every meal, helping them try and get protein into whatever they're eating. But if they will, they love dipping. So I will do like the cottage cheese or the plain Greek yogurt and have that. I make my own ranch and I can do the recipe for that for the packets. But they love that. And I like it if they're going to dip their fries. I just make sure that I have protein-based dips for them to be able to use too. So the collagen, the Vital Proteins collagen is a great addition if you're looking to get some more protein. I do egg whites in my shakes instead of water. That helps. But there are a lot of simple ways that you can be adding protein into things. But I'm going to actually pull over this website just so you can see it. And hopefully you can see it up here on the screen. Let's see. Let's just go here. I'm going to look at this. Okay, hopefully you can see the website here. All right, can everybody see that website? Looks like you should be able to. So I did put the website. It's unleashwithchelsea.program-signup.com. And I do offer a couple different programs if you guys are interested in coaching with me. The first one is Just Start, $97 a month. And the biggest battle that we play in our minds is taking action. And so if you feel like you keep putting it off until like after Easter or after spring break or after this event happens, you're that person that needs like just a little jump start, this would be an awesome place for you. We do one monthly group macro call. So I'm going to I'll dive deeper into macros, the purpose of macros, why we need them. And it'll give some guidance through a monthly group call. So that's where I'll be sharing, menu building. We're going to dive into like MyFitnessPal. I'm going to show you how I will build my meals for the next day before I even show up. And that way it just takes the guesswork out of snacks and things like that. And then I'm on track to hit my goals. We'll do 2 live group coaching calls similar to this, a lot more interactive. So I'm actually going to pull somebody on the call. They're going to be asking their questions in real time, and we'll be able to get those questions answered. I learned so much from other people's problems and other people's questions. And so if you're not brave enough to hop on personally, you can hop in the chat and ask questions, but it'll be a group coaching call live. And then I'm going to be dropping a 5-day meal plan every single month. So just so you can learn to mix things up in the kitchen, showing you simple swaps for foods, just like I talked about, plain Greek yogurt instead of sour cream and things like that, that is going to help to change your kitchen. But we're doing it slowly. We're doing it just a slow, easy transition. So it's not this big extreme thing. And then there is an app that comes with this. It'll have a group chat. So throughout the day, maybe you are getting ready to prep dinner and you've got some questions. Pop in the chat and let's help each other. Let's share some healthy recipes. So surrounding yourself with others that have choices or making healthy choices is going to change your choices. And then there's a private member only podcast where we were recording all of these calls that you can just, while you're cooking dinner or folding laundry or things like that, you'll be able to tap into and listen. Be Bold is taking it to the next level. It's $297 a month. And it's for the person that has continued to start over and over. They know what to do, but they keep falling back into that old routine and they want that healthy lifestyle, but they just feel stuck. A lot of it is you need the accountability. You're ready to take it to the next level, start lifting weights. We are going to talk more about strength training, and that's where the weight focus is going to come in. So you'll have access to all of the coaching calls from the Just Start. Plus, we're going to do a 30-minute wellness call specific to you. So I'm going to do a custom nutrition plan for you. You're going to have a macro guide that's custom to you, show you how to log that into MyFitnessPal and guide you through the process. The cool thing about MyFitnessPal is I'll have access to see what you're eating. I'll know how to help you and make some adjustments. And the most important thing is habit stacking. You're going to have a tracker through the app to be able to track each of your habits. And then each month, we're going to talk about supplementation. So, talking about pre-workout, post-workout, creatine, vitamins, all those questions around supplements. And we'll be doing that monthly. And this one will also include a 5-day lift program. It'll be released the last week of every month, along with your meals to set you up for success for the upcoming month. And then I will be checking in with you. So we will be doing some monthly check-ins to adjust macros and make sure that you're on track. So you'll have your daily habit tracking in the app, and then we'll also do a monthly. So if you're ready to go all in and you want to commit to a full year, if you know that you are that person that's like, I know that I need change. I know that I need to be held accountable. This is the program for you. It's called Unleash. It's $5,000 for the entire year. And this is for somebody that truly knows that they are ready. You're going to have access to everything above. You're going to have a private 1-hour call with me where we talk about nutrition and lifting. And then there's going to be a personalized accountability tracking to you. So whatever your weekly assignments are, according to our weekly calls, are going to be popping up in there. We're going to be doing a monthly 1-to-1 Zoom call. So I'll be talking to just you every single month. And we will be doing weekly check-ins. And you'll have direct messaging access to me at all times. Like you can text me anytime. I'm also going to be doing a live event for this fall. It'll be a retreat here in Utah. Location and dates to be determined. And then also 1-to-1 in-person training sessions. So that's going to be per quarter. And we'll either do it live if you're here local, or we will do those over Zoom. So a couple of options if you want to do some coaching with me, but I will be popping in and doing some of these free master classes every once in a while. And it's an opportunity for you to just have some questions answered. I just want to pop in here and see if there's anything else that I didn't cover. Let's see. Oh, it's saying that the chat is disabled. So let me, creatine powder. I do the Bucked Up creatine. I like their 6-point creatine. Toddlers that are 2 that can't have protein, what can they safely have? Because my son wants to eat what I have. So that would be, I would actually talk to your physician. I'm not sure what you mean by they can't have protein. So I want to make sure that, I'd be advising you correctly, because protein comes in different sources. I just don't know if you're saying that they can't have meat or they don't process eggs or something like that. But that is, maybe a question for a physician that might know more of what the children can eat, because it is so important. If they can have the shakes, that would be great. But I don't want to, direct you if they can't eat eggs, or if it's a hard time processing the meat or whatever it might be. I don't know what you mean by the protein there. So let me just see if there's anything else. It looks like we have most of those answered. Okay, so protein shake powder mix-ins. So if they could do like the string cheese, or if they could do string cheese, those would be really good for them. I would say, if they can do the meat, just making sure that you're cutting things up into smaller bite-sized pieces. Kids love to poke things with toothpicks and things like that. That might be some good options, but let me just see if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about. If you have any other questions, pop them in the chat. We're going to kind of shut things down. I know this is going over time, but I want you to be able to just use me as a resource. Please feel free to direct message me on social media, and I will be excited and willing to answer more questions and share more snack ideas with you guys. Again, if you have any questions, I'll post the link to my website, to Unleash with Chelsea. But I'm super excited to be taking on some more clients and helping you guys hit your goals. This last show, I had the opportunity to drop 30 pounds, and it was a very different prep from my first prep. My first show, the scale went from 140 to 136. My focus was building muscle. I built 8 pounds of muscle and dropped 8% body fat. But this last show, I ended up gaining too much weight. I started at 160 pounds and I had to get down to 127 in order to walk the stage and present, the way that I wanted to. So it's just small incremental changes over time. And I'm so excited for the opportunity to start helping more and showing you that it's just simple lifestyle hacks, that you're already doing things well. Let's just tweak things just a little bit to see some monumental changes and get you closer to your goals, not only physically, but mentally. What's that shift in your mind that needs to take place in order to make that happen? So reach out to me through social media, you guys. Thanks so much for showing up today. And I look forward to doing this again, and we will chat again soon.